Okay, let's get started on our sides. Start with our legs nice and straight, stretched out. Upper body can be in any comfortable position. We're going to take that top knee and bend it up and start doing some touching knee and toe to the front, toe or heel or foot to the back. Trying to keep that hip nice and stacked. So the first couple of times, if you're cold or you've been sitting or sleeping, ease into this movement, let the fluid start to work through the hips, stretching gently, making sure both your knee and your foot hit the floor in the front. It's a little bit of a stretch. Here you go. Let's do one more. Who's counting? There we go. Stretch that leg out straight. We're going to take that top leg, kick it back as far as you can, lift it up, and bring it around. Instead of doing our standing hip circles, we're doing them lying down. The back, up, nice big arch, and around. And one more. Let's bend both legs and set up for clamshells, but instead of clamshells, we're still just going to wake up that hip a little bit more. So we're going to lift up your legs so they're parallel to each other. Take one knee down. Oh, that internal rotation might be kind of hard, or external rotation. Let's go through about 6 more of these to just gently work through the top of your hip, the head of the femur rotating in your hip socket. And then shake it out. And let's come on to our backs. On our backs, palms up, feet wider than your hips, let your knees go side to side. And then we're going to take our legs up to tabletop, increase the demand on your upper body. So palms down this time. We're going to keep your knees together and go side to side. Goal, keep your shoulders on the floor. We're going to come back to this a little bit later. Let's do one more on each side. Get a nice massage across your lower back. And then come back to center and lift up into a bridge. See if you can get a little bit of a stretch over the front of your hips into your quads, pressing through your whole foot and down. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Come on to side 2. Wake up that hip. It isn't woken up already, so bottom leg is straight. Top leg bends up. And we're going to reach for the internal rotation, knee and toe to the floor, and then reach to the back. So we're not rocking back. We want to stay right perpendicular to the ceiling, the floor. Let's do about 4 more. You might find one side is much easier than the other. That's okay. Take your time. If it takes you longer to try to stretch into that, you're going to feel it in here. Go for it. Take your time. And then stretch that leg straight, and we'll kick it back, up and around. Straight leg back, up as high as you can. Bring it around to the front and back together. Do 3 more. And then let's bend our knees like we're setting up for clamshells, but we're going to do some teeter-totters. So lifting up your leg, knee to knee, heel to heel. Last one. Give yourself a hand if you need it. If you're kind of tired this morning. Come up onto hands and knees. And let's start moving through your back and your hips. Big circles. And let's go the other way. And from here, we're going to spend some more time down here. Later in the workout, there's a bunch of core work similar to this. Let's sit back on our heels if it's comfortable and stretch out your wrists. So pull that hand down and then turn it around, turn it the other way. Flexion and extension. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Circle your wrists out. Face forward. If you're on your knees, rock back onto your toes so you're almost in a froggy squat. Let your feet stretch. So hang out here, try to push your heel down. You don't need to sit back. I mean, if I were to try to put my heels down all the way, I would fall backwards. So you don't need to do that. You just need to get a stretch through the calves and the bottom of your foot. Hands are flat on the floor. And what we're going to do is bring your heels together and straighten your legs. And sink it down. Straighten your legs. So frog squat to a forward fold. Ease into it. See if you can go a little bit farther, a little bit closer to straight legs with each movement. And then we're going to hold it up here. Take your hands onto your elbows, straighten out your feet, and come to a wider stance. And just let your upper body hang. Bring your arms over to one side. And arms over to the other side. And then come back to center. Bring your hands on your knees. Turn your toes out and your knees out and sink down into a squat. And let's glide side to side. We're doing a warm up from the bottom up. Here we go. Nice. And see if you can sink down a little bit lower into that. Keep those inner thighs, groin muscles, adductors, hamstrings, stretching, waking, moving gently. And come back to center. Let's drop one shoulder and the other shoulder. And let's go like this, shoulder to shoulder. Do a couple more. And then walk your feet in. And we'll do a cat-cow. So lifting your tailbone, arching through your back, lifting the crown of your head, and tucking your head, rounding through your back, and tucking your tailbone. Articulating up, getting a nice big stretch. And down, and roll it up. Let's roll our shoulders. Take a big breath in and pull your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale and let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Last one. Good. So let's take a big breath in this time and reach up and over and over. Check in with how your upper body is feeling. circle it out. My room is warming up a little bit too much. There we go. And we've got some squats, so let's just warm everything up. We're going to sink down with one heel up and the other heel up. Getting your ankles warmer for the lower body work. And see if you can lift both heels up at the same time. And we need our upper body a little warmer too. So let's sink down and push up. Sink down, push through your toes in your hand. Down and up, down and up. Nice. Let's take it across. So adding a little rotation. And take off any layers you might need to. I need to take off one layer. And we'll get going. We have 3 sets of exercises today. They rely on body weight and the strength of moving your body well through space. We are going to need 2 bands, especially for this first round. 2 bands and some light weights. So our first set are A1 and 2. We're going to do a walking squat with an overhead press eventually, but we're going to start with pulling the band out, getting our legs and our backs to work together. That's the big explanation. And then we're going to do our drawing the sword. We haven't done this in a while. Whoosh. So light weights, pulling up with a straight arm, using your back to support your arm and your shoulder. So that's what we're starting with. And then we have planks and push-ups and more shoulder work, and then a bunch of core. So light, focus on how your body is moving, what it feels like. We're going to start with our walking squats. We're going to take a heavier band and put it above our knees. And the lighter band, I think I need a different lighter band. The lighter band is going to be in our hands. So if you take this band with an overhand grip and pull across at your shoulders, pull your elbows in, you feel your back muscles engaging, that's what we want to feel, and that's how we're going to start. So, and you want to keep tension on this band. You never want to come to the point where your band is just going to slide down your legs. So you always want to feel that band in your hands and above your knees. So let's pull it across. Let's sink down into our little squat. Let's take about 5 steps in one direction. And go back the other way. And release, roll your shoulders. Maybe see if it feels better to pull the band apart with the band around your wrist. Just experiment, see what feels better. You can still get your back engaged. And we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And from here in our little squat, find your balance and lift. It's like doing a fire hydrant, standing. Foot down, back over to the other side. Knee bent. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release your arms, roll your shoulders, reset. Last time through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fire hydrants. Woo! And over. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not giving myself enough room. Bent knee, then lift it up. 4, 5. Good. Let's put both bands down. You can keep the band around your knees. We don't need it. We're going to grab lighter weights. If I can find all my weights. How can I be missing a weight? Okay. Oh, there it is. Blue band, blue weight. They all look like each other. So draw the sword as a cross body pull. We're going to start with our arms here. Inhale, exhale. Pull with your back. Try to keep your arm as straight as you can. Come up, that's one side. See what it feels with the other side. I come into a split stance so I can keep my posture nice and strong. So my ribs are still over my hips. I'm just a little bit angled. And so from here, I can pull up and not arch my back. And bring it down. Okay. I'm going to keep my band on so I don't have to keep sitting down. There we go. Take a little break, roll your shoulders. Get the camera moved. There we go. Take your arms out. There's a lot of back in this first set, even though you think. So we did side steps to fire hydrants. We're going to add on round 2. Either your wrists in the band or your overhand grip on the band, your choice. We're going to sink down and up. Side step and up. Side step and up. Squat, step and up. And one more. And up. Side step and up. Remember, you're always pulling on the bands. Pull. My back's on fire. I feel my lats. Let's do that one more time. So sinking down to your little squat. We're going to sink down, step, and reach. Squat, step, and reach. Squat, step, and reach. Remember when we did these, we built it over a month. We're doing that whole month in one round of this exercise. And I wonder why we're feeling it. Squat, and reach. And reach. Beautiful. Let's put that band down for now. Swing your arms. Let your back chill out for 30, 40 seconds. It can be a twist. It can be an arm swing. It can be a big circular movement. It could be backstroke. Just let it chill. The next time we come to us, we can use a weight or we can use the band, your choice. But let's pick up our weights and do some draw the sword again. So just to set you up in that split stance, you just don't want to pull up and have your back arch, rib flare, and be out of alignment with your hips. So it helps to lean forward just a little bit, pull those ribs in so that if you have your hands on the bottoms of your ribs, you're pretty much in line with where the top of your pelvis is. So from here, it's a little bit of a lean, a little bit of a rib drop. We're going to draw the swords. Let's shake it out. And maybe your weights are too light. Maybe your weights are too heavy. Maybe you need to adjust for a last set. So think about that. It'll take a little bit of time. The last round of squats. The last round of squats. If you're using a band, we're going to keep it pressed up and pulled apart overhead. Again, you can do the overhand grip, or you can have the band around your wrist, whichever is more comfortable for you. But we're going to do even have a flat band and just pull it apart. The act of pulling it apart, you should feel your lats kicking in. That's what we want. So we're going to keep our arms up and as straight as we can, sink down into our squat and step. And we're going to stay in the squat. Step, step, step. One more. And come up, sink down, keep those arms pulled up. And release. This time we're going to go up and down. So we're going to step, squat, up, step, squat, and up. Overhead squats are super hard. Let's go back the other way. Other leg leads. Step, squat, and lift. Step, squat, and lift. Make sure you're not side lunging, that you're sinking right down between your legs. Whew. And let's take half a minute here, 45 seconds. Let the tension go out of your shoulders and your arms. If I was laughing before, it's because there's just a lot of chest, back, shoulder work today. Doesn't have to be heavy work to feel it. So that was round 3. You can take the band off around your foot if you want. That's fine. Give your legs a little freedom. Buy yourself some time. Let's get into our slightly leaning forward stacked position. So when you come up, you stay stacked instead of doing that. Okay, here we go. Let's go for the last 10. Up and down. And last one. Nice. Bring those weights down. Grab a drink. Maybe do some rounded back, some cat. I don't know if cat is going to feel good. I mean, if cow is going to feel good, but cat. Ooh, round your back. Let all the tension go. We've been holding a lot of tension for 3 sets. Give yourself a chance to recover. Grab a drink. And I will tell you what's coming next. We have the double whammy for your back. We're protracting and retracting from a plank position, from your knees or from your toes, with your hands in a diamond position. So instead of having our hands shoulder width, we're going to have a very narrow stance. And then we're going to go into a W push-up, which you should be very familiar with. And then we're going to sit up on the bench and do 6-way shoulders. So there are going to be pauses, there are going to be breaks. We're going to give our shoulders the love it needs. If you need to adjust for your hands, for your wrists, we're going to take those pauses, make those adjustments that you need. If you can't hold your weight because of an injury, flat down on the floor, do it against a wall. Maybe you could do it one-armed against the wall. Figure out what works for you, and we'll get through this workout. And then we have a bunch of core at the end, because we're working core this whole set. Okay. B1, plank, protract, retract. So against the wall, on your knees or on the floor, hands are in a W or a diamond, right underneath. You're gonna try to keep your feet together too. So it's almost like you're trying to balance on a balance beam. And all we're doing is pulling the shoulder blades together and spreading them apart. So I'm not moving through my whole back. The whole body is still moving as a unit. And we're gonna go for 10 of these. You can also do these from your elbows if your wrists are sensitive. And your arms are staying locked out straight, right? Unless you're on your elbows. And when you're all done, come back into child's pose. Stretch your arms forward. Let your neck relax. And here we'll come all the way down onto the floor and do a W push-up. So you're gonna have your toes curled under, your knees lifted, legs ready. We're gonna reach, pull into a back extension, reach, hands by shoulder, and press yourself up into a plank. Lower yourself down, and we're gonna do 5 more. Reach, pull, reach, press. Reach, pull, reach, press. Reach, pull, reach. And one more for good measure because I was thinking, watching, and lost my count. When you're all done, come into child's pose. Walk your hands over to one side. Walk your hands over to the other side. Do a quick thread the needle. Switch sides. Middle of a workout, never holding anything too long. And we're gonna find a seat. You can do the standing too, but why? You don't have to, why? So 6-way shoulders, we're gonna start with the weights in our hands. I'm kind of on the edge of my bench so that my weights can come down comfortably right by my hips. And then from here, we'll look up to the side, in, and up, and then reverse that path, down, out, and down. Do a few more, out, in, up, down, out, and down. Good. Do 2 more rounds. 2. Last round. And down. Very nice. So from here, just let your shoulders relax. Okay, let's grab one weight and do a shoulder stretch. Get those pendulums going. Just let that shoulder stretch out before we ask it to work again. Do about 10 circles one way, then circles the other. Let the weight gently stretch your shoulder. And then switch sides. And switch directions. Take the shoulders out. So the protract-retract you can do against the wall. You can do from your knees on the floor. You can do from your toes. You can do it without anything. Just get those muscles moving. Remember, as I've always said, if you create the tension in your body, you can activate and move those muscles. And so if something about being on the floor, being against the wall, or using your wrists or is aggravating you, let's find a way around it. So starting in a plank, because that's on my workout plan. You're in from your knees, you look like this. Knees are bent and your glutes are squeezed. You're on your toes, your knees are lifted and your glutes are squeezed. You don't get away from that. 10 protract retracts. So protract the shoulder blades to the outside of your rib cage, retract them back in. It will feel like your chest is dropping towards your chest, but we're not saggy, right? Up, down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the muscles we're using for that, you think it's your back. It's the muscles here. And if we haven't been using them a lot, we're all going to be feeling it for the next few days. The muscles, the serratus that are around your ribs, super important for shoulder stability. So here we go. Down on the floor. Stretch yourself long. Roll your toes under, lift your knees. Your wrists bother you, stick with the back extensions. If your wrists are good, we're gonna hit 6 W push-ups. So reach, pull, reach, and press. Reach, pull, reach, and press. 3, pull, reach, press. 4, and when you're all done, back into child's pose. Up, stretch your shoulders out, roll them. And then we'll grab our weights. Let's take about 30 more seconds. Let's let everything settle down. Maybe do a chest stretch. I can already feel it in here. Might be the culmination of the week. There we go. 10 more seconds. Drink, relocate your dogs, whatever you need to do. Okay. We're going to go in a different pattern this time. Last time we went out, in, and then up. This time we're going to go up, out, flip your hands and come up. Flip your hands and come down. So, front lift, out to the side, rotate your hands and up. Carefully bring your arms down, flip, bring your arms forward and down. 2, flip, don't forget that flip. Times 3, out, flip, and up, out, flip, forward, and down. 4, flip, and up, out, flip, forward, and down. 5, flip, out, flip, forward, and down. Last one, up, out, flip, and come up, flip, come forward, and down. That's it. Shoulders are going to be tired. So if you're not feeling that at all, consider going a little bit heavier, maybe do fewer reps. Challenge yourself. It's okay to increase your weight and do fewer reps and feel like you've got the form and you're getting stronger. If you're always waiting for perfect form to do the same number of or larger number of reps, you may never increase your weights. So play around with it, see what you can do with good form. And we'll go through one more round because we still have more to do after this. Ooh, maybe 20 more seconds or so. You can grab a drink. You can too. So back to our diamond protract-retract. All we're doing is moving through the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades go to the outside of the rib cage, draw back in towards the spine. Finding your plank, 10 of these. Retract, protract, doesn't matter which one you start with. And when you're all done, take a few seconds and drop back into child's pose. Circle out your wrists. Find your position for doing push-ups, push-ups against the wall, push-ups from your knees. No push-ups, just back extensions. You did you this morning. Honor the body that's presenting itself. You're still here, you're still working out. You're not doing exactly what I'm doing. It is not the end of the world. Here we go. Let's reach. Whoops. Toes in, knees lifted. Reach, pull, reach, and press. Last 6. Reach, pull, reach. Reach. Press. 2 more. Reach, pull, reach, press. Reach, pull, reach, and press. When you're all done, child's pose. Finding your weights. One last set. The 6-way shoulders. If your shoulders are fried, go a little bit lighter. If your shoulders are feeling good, challenge yourself. It's okay if we go through this 5 or 6 times and you burn out and you're done, and you're done, you're done. You're always done. No need to force yourself. No losing form. Go out to the side, in and up, down, out, down, 2, in and up, down, out, and down. You're still trying to keep your ribs stacked over your pelvis. So we're not arching as we're lifting. It's really hard, especially when you're pulling to the front and lifting up. 4. Posture is so important. Good. And let's do one more. Last exercise in this circuit. Good work. Let's take a moment, stretch out that shoulder. Let's reach up and do a tricep stretch. Even well, push-ups worked our triceps, but let's lean into it and stretch through the side of your ribs with serratus arm. A little mini break before we move on. Switch sides, lean into it. Very nice. And shoulder stretch. So notice if you're hugging your shoulder up, see if you can pull it down as you're bringing your arm across. Nice. Then take your hands behind your back and pull down. Let your shoulders pull back, let your chest open up. Lift up your arms. So grab a drink and I'll talk you through what's coming. We have double leg stretch on your back, working your core. I had bear crawls down, but I know there's some cranky wrists there, so we're gonna flip that around. Instead of doing bear crawls, we're gonna do a dead bug variation with weight and a ball or a cushion or something if you have it. And then we're gonna do windshield wipers with as straight a leg as we can muster to give our shoulders a little bit more challenge. The double leg stretch. First, we start on the floor and make ourselves as long as we can. And then we're going to curl up into a ball. So you're lifting your head, neck, and shoulders up, reaching for your knees. So you're hugging your knees. And then we're going to extend. Exhale. Inhale. Or exhale. As long as you're breathing, I'm not going to worry about whether you're inhaling or exhaling at the right moment. So we're starting curled up in a ball. Want to keep your legs together. Do 2 more. 9 and 10. Tuck your knees in. Let your back settle down into the floor. And if you've got a light weight near you, what we're going to do with it is reach back over your head, but we're keeping our ribs down on the floor. And it's easy. When your knees are tucked in, you can keep your back down on the floor. When your knees are in the dead bug position, extended, it's a lot harder to keep your back from wanting to arch up. So we're going to lock one leg in place, and we're going to focus on one side, reaching out and coming back in. I want you to think about pressing your back down into the floor as we do this. Let's go for 8 on each side. 8, 7. The goal is not to touch. The goal is to go as far as you can, keeping your back stable. 6, 7, and 8. We're going to switch sides. Hand on the opposite knee, keeping it locked in place. And let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, Bring that weight down, hug your knees in, put your back relax. Let those muscles have a little break. And the third move that comes in the set, and we're going to go through everything one more time. We're going to have our arms out to the side, palms down so you can brace. We've done our windshield wipers like this. Yeah, it feels good. We've done our windshield wipers like this. Yep, that still feels good. What I want you to try to do now is keep your legs straight and together. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, come down, keeping your shoulder on the floor. Inhale back up. Exhale down to the other side. Takes a little bit more effort to keep your shoulder down because of your leg movement. And one more. Right and left. And hug your knees in. Make little circles. Get your back feeling good. Let's take 15, 20 seconds. Let's just stretch out. And then we'll go through that one more time. Okay, so starting, all curled in like a ball. Lift up your head, neck, and shoulders. Think about keeping a softball or tennis ball between your chin and your chest, so you're not cranking on your neck. And we're keeping a neutral spine through your cervical spine. We're going to start here and reach. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more, 6, stay with me, 7, and 8. Hug it in. Nice work. I think let's roll it over. Let's actually try a hover and see what it feels like. A little bit different, but maybe a little bit less strain on your neck. Different challenge to your back. So instead of a bear crawl, we're going to come into a hover. So we're pressing through your toes and through your hands. And from here, let's try going around the world. So we're going to lift one arm, the other arm, kick back with one leg, kick back with the other leg. And as you're doing this, I want you to think about keeping your back as level and stable as possible, kind of like when we're doing plank work, right? We're supporting the spine. We're not rocking and rolling, trying to compensate. So let's go around 2 more times. Arm, arm, leg, leg, arm, arm, leg, leg, bring it down, and come into child's pose. We're going to do one last round of windshield wipers, and then we'll give everything a big stretch. So let's come onto our backs, legs straight up. If your legs are here, that's fine. If your legs are here, that's fine. If you can't do this, do it with bent knees. You do you. Honor your body. Shoulders stay down on the floor. And let's go to the side. Each side 3 times. Two, 3, and 3. And then we're going to tuck our knees in and roll all the way over onto one side. Hold on to your legs to keep your knees stacked. You're going to reach and open like a book. Oh my goodness. This is the stretch. This is the stretch we need. And if it feels good, go ahead and straighten your legs. Keep your knees right where they are. But keep your legs straight or keep them bent, your choice. And breathe. All the muscles we were working, or the muscle we worked the most today, is the side. You're being stretched. Whew. And then let's come up. Slowly unfold yourself. Go over to side 2. Stack your knees, reach forward, and open like a book. Let's give this side a nice big stretch also. See if you can pull your shoulder down to the floor. Open up across the chest. Straighten your legs if it feels good. And we'll come up to center. Hug your knees in. Let's make about 4 little circles in each direction with your knees. And reverse. Have one knee in, stretch the other leg straight. See if you can press the knee. You're not going to touch the floor, but imagine you're pressing your heel and your knee all the way down into the floor. Keep it active. While you're doing that, you can circle out the ankle of that leg you have tucked into your chest. We'll circle in both directions. And then let's switch sides. Having the other knee in, making sure it's not winging out to the side. You want to pull it straight in towards your shoulder. The other leg is straight, pressing the knee and the heel down into the floor, circling out the bent knee, the ankle of the bent knee. And for your back, let's come into happy baby. So let's grab onto your big toes and lift them up. And just rock gently side to side. And then try to straighten one leg, keep the other leg bent without falling over, baby ninja. And try the other side. And let's roll over and come into a longer child's pose with the thread the needle. Give your back a chance to stretch. And let's switch sides. Coming back up onto hands and knees. Let's do some cat-cows. Check in how your spine is feeling. And then let's come back to our big hip circles. Stretching through your back and your butt. And let's go both directions. Reach your hands forward. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders.